Assalamualaikum viewers, welcome to Learning Academy. Today the topic of our discussion is embryonic organ in plants, which are the cotyledons, radicle, lobule, hypocotyl and epicotyl. Epicotyl first and then hypocotyl. So in this video we are going to discuss about all these embryonic organs. Embryonic organs. Okay, सबसे पहले है कोटिलेडन, then radicle, and then lobule, and then what is epicotyl after lobule, and at last is what? That is hypocotyl. First one is cotyledon, second one is radicle, third lobule, fourth epicotyl, and the last one is what? Hypocotyl. First of all is what? Cotyledon. What is cotyledon? It is the first part. First part of what? First part of a plant. When a seed germinates, then the first part that develops from embryo. How embryo is formed? Embryo is formed from zygote. Okay, and then the first part of the plant that emerge from what? Embryo. Is cotyledon. Cotyledon is the first part. If we know the first part means the one that emerges after the seed germinate, after the zygote is formed and embryo is formed, the first part that emerges from that embryo is what? That is the cotyledon. It is also called embryonic leaves because it is the first part that formed from embryo. So what is the benefit of cotyledon in plant? Why we need cotyledons? First, it is an important aspect. So what is the function? Cotyledon provide nutrients to what? To all the seedlings. That may be hypocotyl, epicotyl, radicle, lobules that emerge from embryo. Cotyledon provide them the nutrients that emerge from embryo. It is photosynthetic. And found in all the plants, maybe dicots or monocots, but exception is that in dicots they are two in numbers. Okay, the first part cotyledon is enough described. Then the second one is radical. As you can see here, seed caught. Okay, that is the embryo. These are the cotyledonous leaves. Okay, this is the what? This is the radical. Okay. So radical, it also emerges from embryo. Embryo of seed. Radical emerges from the embryo of seed. It is the future roots. Which are the taproot. Radical emerge from what? Embryo. Okay, then it forms future root. Root is taproot, main root of the plant. Okay, the central dominant root of the plant is taproots. Otherwise, the lateral roots that emerges from taproots are its problem. But this is the problem of radical. If there is radical, there is taproot, and radical emerge from what? Embryo of seed, and embryo is formed from what? Zygote. And how zygote is formed? When sperm plus egg fuses, then zygote is formed. Lomule, it is the part of the seed embryo. Which forms the rudimentary shoot. Do you know what is meant by the word rudimentary? It means the most basic, the term which starts something, which is the base of something. Okay, so the most basic shoot is lomule. It is the rudimentary shoot. The next is the terms hypocotyl and epicotyl. Okay, there is the term epicotyl and the hypocotyl. So what is epicotyl? It is the part of the plant embryo which is just above cotyledon. Okay, and it forms the main shoot. It is present just below what? Just below lomule. So what is its function? It exert pressure on lomule and apply a force on it so that lomules emerges. Here is it, epicotyle below the lomule emerges from what? I mark it by black. Okay, so it exert pressure on lomule so that lomule exert pressure so that the pressure exerted by the lomule make it able to be grown on soil, to be come out of the soil surface. Okay, so that part thing is epicotyle. Emerge from embryo and below the lomule. Hypocotyle, it is present between the what? That is the radicle. So this is the hypocotyle, present between the radicle and the embryo. So what is the function of hypocotyle? Present above radicle. It exerts pressure on radicle, presses the radicle. So that radicle insert in surface and changes to taproot, which is the most dominant and the central and thick root, and from taproots lateral roots are formed, from lateral roots root hairs are formed, which increases the surface area of absorption. So here we have discussed all the terms of the embryonic organs in plant. So what is this? Is the cotyledons, okay, which emerge from the embryo. Epicotyle is also emerged from the embryo, but it is above the cotyledon. Okay, and here is the lomule portion. Sorry, here is the lomule portion. Here is the epicotyle. Here is the cotyledon. This is the hypocotyle, which is present below the cotyledon, and it exerts pressure on the radical root. Radical root is taproot because it emerges, because it is formed from the radical, and radical emerge from the embryo, and hypocotyle exert pressure on this taproot radical root so that it is very perfectly anchors in the soil. Okay, and these are the lateral roots which is emerged from the taproot's radical root. I hope so you understand it very well. But if there is any query related to this topic, then kindly ask me in the comment section.